Emergency update from Hollis Hall phones lit, calendars clear, and one name just jumped to the front of the line. I'm talking about a move that doesn't tweak the offense. It rewires the entire identity overnight. Quiet whispers turned into real conversations, and those conversations turned into action points. This isn't rumor for clicks energy. This is the kind of thing that makes scouts stop mid-clip and say, if that happens, the North feels different. Stick with me. Because in the next minutes, I'm laying out the full map, without spoiling the reveal. What I'm hearing about the framework. What the package could look like. Why the fit is freakishly clean with our quarterback. How the cap math actually works in season. And what it would do to our red zone problems and 4-minute offense. We'll talk timing, leverage, and what signals to watch in the next 72 hours. Here's the breadcrumb trail that matters. NFC exec chatter lining up with AFC rumblings. Usage patterns that suggest a pressure valve opening. And draft pick flexibility on our side that lets you buy high but not overpay. 3 separate lanes merging into one highway. No, I'm not dropping the name yet. You'll feel it coming. Before we dive, quick shout to the people who make this show alive. You're watching Bears News Fan Report. If you want inside breakdowns with zero fluff and real football talk, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me where you're tuning in from. The more you engage, the more this community sets the tone for Bears Nation. Let's build the stage. The offense has flashed, but we all know the truth. Drives stall when we can't control the down and distance. When the ground game is hot, the whole playbook breathes. When it's cold, we're asking our young QB to live on hard mode, too many second and longs, too many third and forevers. This team doesn't need empty calories. It needs a back who tilts the math on first down and turns checkdowns into explosives. What's the archetype? One-cut juice with grown man contact balance. Vision that turns chaos into crease. A third down threat who punishes blitzes in the flats and forces linebackers to widen in coverage. A runner who threatens the alley, so our RPOs stop being look plays and start being fear plays. Someone whose presence bends safeties a half step and buys our QB an extra beat. Now zoom out to the market. In-season trades for backs are rare because fit matters more than the name. You're not renting highlights, you're renting a style that has to mesh with your line's DNA tomorrow. We're built to run gap in zone, we motion, we empty, we sprint out. The right guy thrives in that chaos. The wrong guy becomes a screen merchant and nothing else. This potential move, if it happens, screams right guy. Why now? Timing and leverage. Some teams in the AFC are re-evaluating their timelines. A certain offense hasn't been as balanced as it hoped. A certain player's window to become the focal point where he might be narrowing. Meanwhile, we've got just enough draft capital flexibility to make a creative, conditional package work, especially if it's structured around playing time and postseason benchmarks rather than raw. Headline picks added up and you get a cross-conference conversation that actually makes football sense. Not a fantasy league idea and honest-to-God coaching cap talk. Our staff wants someone who can win the A-gap draw, bounce the toss crack, and torch a linebacker on the angle route. Our locker room wants a spark that doesn't feel like a gimmick. Our schedule wants a closer. All right, you waited. You earned the reveal. The name is Breece Hall, and the phrase circling league calls tonight is Chicago bound. Not a done deal, not official, but a strong, active, very real speculation with structure being discussed. Think conditional draft compensation. Think manageable year of trade cash outlay with bonus proration staying with his current team. Think a pathway to keep the door open for an extension later if the fit is as perfect as the tape suggests. That's the buzz. That's the temperature. Let's talk football first. Hall's profile is nightmare fuel for defenses trying to live in too high shells. He attacks daylight like a wide receiver after the catch, but he finishes runs like an edge rusher. One cut and the geometry of the field changes. In our offense, he gives you immediate first down credibility, outside zone with the right tackle seal. Glance RPO off the backside safety, then orbit motion to window dress the same look and punish overplay. Suddenly, linebackers start sitting on the second level instead of firing. That means digs open. That means boot action becomes a free 12-dot pass game. Think Texas route. Think screens that actually look like explosives. Think wheel out of empty when we want to steal a chunk without risking a hero ball. Our QB's first read gets cleaner when linebackers hesitate, and Brees forces hesitation. Teams can live with us being methodical. They can't live with us being methodical and explosive. Red zone is where his vision matters most. Too many offenses get horizontal down there and die. All stride eats space between the guard and the tackle, and he has the patience to let the double land before he knifes. Give him a Tay-wing and a motion man, and you can build 3 scoring families off one picture. Downhill crunch, jet touch, and QB keep on the naked. That's how you stack touchdowns without needing circus catches. What about our current room? Iron sharpens iron. Rows become clearer, not smaller. The short yardage hammer stays a hammer. The third down protector stays a protector. Hall doesn't erase jobs. He amplifies them. And he forces defenses to declare personnel earlier, no more nickel sleepwalking into a base run and living to tell about it. You get lighter boxes, cleaner numbers, and fewer wasted snaps. Let's be grown-ups about risk. Running backs take hits. That's the job. You mitigate by rotation, by pitch count, by running the grass not to pride, and by building answers on early downs so you're not telegraphing 2nd and 10 inside zone out of misery. You also mitigate with contract structure, conditional picks instead of blind leads, playtime triggers instead of hope. This is not a flags fly forever swing. It's a calculus says we're one piece away from controlling game flow, swing dot cap mechanics rapid fire. In an in-season move, the acquiring team takes on the remaining base salary. Prior bonuses stay with the team trading him. Translation: the check you write now is cleaner than the headline number suggests. If he balls out, you sit down in the spring and talk about long-term structure that rewards production without mortgaging tomorrow. If the fit isn't perfect, the conditional pick math protects you. That's why this is even a conversation. Compensation speculation underlines speculation. I've heard frameworks that start with a mid-round pick that escalates based on snaps, wins, and postseason milestones. I've also heard player plus pick ideas if a roster spot needs to move both ways. None of this is locked. These are whiteboard scenarios, not league filings. But the mere fact credible scenarios are being floated tells you the interest is more than a tweet. Locker room energy matters. A move like this tells every vet the front office sees the window and is pushing. It tells the defense your fourth quarter leads are about to feel safer. It tells your young QB, we're not making you win every down with your cape. We're giving you a battering ram and a getaway car in the same player. That's culture. That's buy-in. That's Sundays getting simpler. Now, the other sideline. Why would his current team even pick up the phone? Timelines. Some teams stare at their schedule and see a gauntlet. Some want to reallocate touches, rework money, or reset a room. Sometimes you trade a really good player not because you don't love him, but because your path demands different assets right now. And sometimes you simply cash a chip while the chip is peaking. Cold, but true. What do you watch for next? Beat reporter breadcrumbs about reps and usage. Late week scratches that look precautionary. Whispered talk about physical scheduling and travel logistics. Also always what our own roster moves telegraph. Standard elevation patterns from the practice squad. Back-end shuffles that create the right slot. None of this guarantees anything. But those are the tells when a front office is actually moving pieces. If the deal lands, day one installs are simple. Your favorite run trio, your favorite screen trio, 2 RPO families, and one shot you love off condensed splits. Don't overcomplicate it. Make defenses play honest, then take the bite out of their teeth with tempo off successful runs. That's how you go from dangerous to inevitable. I'm going to say this clearly because you deserve clarity. Everything I've laid out is the cleanest version of what I'm hearing from multiple lanes tonight. It is not official. It is not ink on paper. It is a strong, live, logic-backed speculation that our front office is pushing on, with structural ideas that make football and cap sense. If it breaks our way, you'll know immediately. If it doesn't, you'll still understand why they tried my opinion. And it's only my opinion. I'm in so long as the conditional pick math protects us and the medicals are clean. All next to our QB makes us harder to defend on first down and deadlier in the red area. But say it with me, this is speculation, not confirmation. Now it's your turn. Bears fans, would you pull the trigger on Breece Hall if the price is a conditional mid-rounder that escalates with snaps and wins? What worries you more, the pick cost or the mileage at the position? Drop your take below and tell me how you'd split touches in the room if he walks through that door.